Welcome back to another episode of the Advanced Truck Operations course here at Bladensburg Fire Department. Today what we're going to be talking about is the 2-to-1 system that we have pre-rigged in our setup on our ladder truck, and how it's going to be utilized for a down firefighter removal from an upper story. This situation can be definitely applied to what people commonly know as the Denver drill in Denver, Colorado, where Mark Langvart ended up dying because they couldn't get that firefighter out of the window. I believe it was in 1992 from an upper story, so they sat there for about an hour trying to figure out some ways. What we do is when we have a down fireman in the upper position of a window, we want to try to use what we have and some things that we have available to us to create a simple 2-to-1 system to get that firefighter up over the sill and out of the window a lot easier than just by brute strength. Something that we have here in our kit is a prusik cord, and we have single sheaves pulleys and one large carabiner that's going to be attached to our firefighter inside the window. I'm here today with Sergeant Volpe, and we're going to discuss a little bit is about the system, and he's going to take it away in a second. But one thing I wanted to really appreciate and get into is that we understand that some folks out there may not have access to an upper story or a separate building or a separate window trading prop. So we thought about some ways in which we can illustrate what we have with the most minimalistic equipment. So if you have a pickup truck inside of your firehouse, and in this case we have a pickup truck tied back to a ground ladder just to an upper structural member, in this case it's the column, or the span for the fire department inside the engine bay. But if you have something that you can put up a ground ladder to in a pickup truck and you don't have an upper window, you can simulate this drill to a degree as best you can until you get to your training grounds or a simulated window or an actual building that you can utilize this drill. So we try to take as little as possible and make this drill, and then we'll do later videos on an actual window with some smoked out conditions, getting this firefighter up and out. Sergeant Volpe?
For demonstration purposes, we have a 16 set up. First thing you want to do is, above our simulated window, we have the ladder thrown to the highest point. So you throw this above. Setup is simple. Large carabiner, small carabiner, 2 sheave pulleys, and a prusik. I'm going to get set up here. Hold this out the way for the moment. I set up my prusik around, wrap nice and neat. I'm going to hook a carabiner to it, and then I'll pass this hook into the window where the rescuers have the down fireman pre-packaged, and can then hook it up using his SCBA shoulder straps. So now, from the outside, we can go ahead and haul him out while the inside rescuers guide him out of the window.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's all.
All right. Lower.
Nope.
So in a matter of about a minute and a half, we've now taken the down fireman from the simulated second floor of a building down to the ground. Now he's outside. Biggest advantage of this is for guys who are trying to get him up out of the window. Having this system in place is going to take all the weight off. So all they have to do is pretty much just guide him up out of the window, and then he can be lowered down to the ground to a waiting cruise.
Yeah, and so like Sergeant Volpe explained, this system is definitely a big back saver, life saver. It's better for this down firefighter to get them down and out utilizing this 2-to-1 system. And again, like we said, this is going to be integrated into its own bag that we carry, and it's going to be pre-rigged. one of the interesting things that we want to talk about is this big carabiner. We try to get a big carabiner that we have, and we're going to try to capture both shoulder straps as best as possible. A lot of times people want to go to this strap here, this singular strap. We found that it's a lot easier not only to control the firefighter, but it creates less of a twisting motion, whereas that firefighter can swing back and forth. And then on top of that, we can capture more of that firefighter's back. Inside that room, the interior firefighters, if you notice here, what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to convert that firefighter's waist strap into a harness. Right? A lot of people refer to this as some type of seat harness, but you're just converting the waist straps down here into a harness. In some cases, a lot of times, and if you're not utilizing this type of application, it may not work as best for you. But in this case, where we're going vertical on a rope, we want to make sure that we get this captured in between the firefighter's legs. That way, pack doesn't slip up as you go to haul on that line. The other thing is the interior firefighters, that horizontal drag and getting them to the window is the hardest part. Once they get to the window and they convert that harness, everything else becomes pretty seamless, right? The firefighters, the down firefighter is less issues when their airway is outside of that IDLH and inside fresh air outside of the building. So that's it for this evening. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the Advanced Truck Operations course.